Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Tilak.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hope I'm visible and audible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You are. Good evening, sir. We'll just begin in 2 minutes.
Tilak.
I'm just checking with Prashanto, sir, and then we'll begin. Just 1 minute. Good evening, sir. Sir, I think you're on mute. Sorry, sir. You are on
My
mute.
apologies. My apologies. Sorry.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Uh, Just a small update. VC sir is having a little connectivity issues. He'll be joining soon, but we are beginning the ceremony. So Nupur and Shakti will be hosting the ceremony. So over to them. Thank you.
A very hearty good evening to respected guests, Vice Chancellor, faculty convener, professors, esteemed judges, participants, volunteers, and all the attendees. We are extremely delighted to introduce Srimati Jyoti Jindgar Bhanot ma'am, Prashanto Chandra sir, and Manas Kumar Chaudhari sir as the guests for this ceremony. We also welcome respected Professor Faizan Mustafa sir, Vice Chancellor, Nalsar University of Law, respected faculty convener Saurabh sir, Sudhanshu Kumar sir, the Faculty for Competition Law, and Mr. Anand Vikas Mishra sir, the Joint Director, Advocacy Department of the Competition Commission of India. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to each one of you to the valedictory ceremony of the first Nalsar-Cci Antitrust Moot Court competition, which was organized in association with Khaitan and Co. I am Nupur Varman and I will be hosting the ceremony along with Shakti Reddy on behalf of the entire organizing committee. First and foremost, I would request Professor Saurabh sir, faculty convener of the MCC, to welcome the gathering. Sir has been working with the organizing committee since day one and has been extremely instrumental in organizing the event. Professor Bharti graduated from Memorial Gandhi College, Jammu, after which he made shift to law from science. He pursued his LLB from Delhi University and then LLM from Nalsar. He then joined Nalsar for his teaching stint and is now assistant professor at Nalsar and has a specialization in intellectual property. Besides IPR, his area of interest includes constitutional law, international law, and jurisprudence. He's also the faculty coordinator for our Moot Court committee, and he has been a constant guiding light for the organizers and other mooting events, and we are extremely grateful for the same. So now I humbly request you, sir, to address the gathering.
Thank you, Nupur. Can you confirm if I'm audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. As faculty convener MCC Nalsar, I'm very happy to see the completion, rather successful completion of the first Nalsar-Cci Antitrust Moot. I know the team led by Tilak and others had done their best to ensure that everybody participating have a hassle-free experience in this moot court competition. And I hope the 24 teams which participated did feel that way. We would look forward to your participation in more events organized by Nalsar. But in case you have any suggestions, any points of improvement you think you can communicate to us, we would wait for your feedback, and we would take that feedback on board next time we organize any other moot court competition or anything else. But as I said, I hope you all had a very fruitful experience when you were participating in this particular first Nalsar-Cci Antitrust Moot. I also thank all the judges from the prelims rounds to quarters to semis, and particularly the judges in the finals, Miss Jyoti Bhanot, Prashanto Chandra ji, Manan K. Chaudhary ji, for being with us for this finals and making this competition a successful competition. I would have loved to join the finals. My bad health kept me away, so I apologize for that. But I assume the finalists, which is GNLU Gandhinagar and INLU Ahmedabad, they did their best and they put their foot forward. But of course, one of these two would be the winners. But like I said at the time of the inauguration also, participation well done itself is a victory of sorts. So two of you, the two teams in the finals, and all the other teams which participated, in one sense of it, are all victorious. But in any case, it's my duty to wish the two finalists the best, and let's see who wins. With these words, I think I'll go back to Nupur. Nupur, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir, for welcoming the gathering. Moving on, I would like to request Mr. Sudhanshu Kumar to address the gathering. Sir is currently working as an assistant professor of law at Nalsar University of Law, Hyderabad. He is also the coordinator for the Center of Corporate and Competition Laws at Nalsar. He offers papers on corporate and competition law for both undergraduate and postgraduate students here. Some of his publications include books on competition and consumer laws of India. He has also worked on multiple government-sponsored projects and has been engaged in training professionals and administrative officers on corporate and commercial law. Dr. Kumar is also a member of the Network of Indian Competition Experts and the Competition Commission of India. Please go ahead, sir.
Good evening, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Faizan Mustafa, Chief Guest, Ms. Jyoti Jindgar Bhanot, Secretary, Advisor, and Head of Antitrust Division, Competition Commission of India. Guest of Honor, Mr. Manas Kumar Chaudhary, Partner, Khaitan and Co. Senior Advocate, Mr. Prashanto Chandra, my colleague, Mr. Saurabh Bharti, who is a faculty convener MCC. My other colleagues at Nalsar University, student, MCC, and other dignitaries. It is my proud privilege to welcome you today at the concluding ceremony of the first Nalsar Competition Commission of India Antitrust Moot. Competition law in the last few years has grown by leaps and bounds, and the Commission, in pursuance of its advocacy mandate, has been conducting various focused advocacy measures such as workshops, seminars, training, and also moot court competitions. We are extremely proud to have associated with the Commission in this endeavor. Previously as well, NALSA partnered with the Commission to create competition law modules for administrative and judicial academies. And I'm sure the collaboration of the Commission with Nalsar University will have a positive impact in generating a constructive and valuable discourse in competition law across all the stakeholders. With this, I thank the Commission once again for giving us the opportunity to host this moot court competition. And I sincerely hope that we continue this collaboration in the coming years as well. And the collaboration extends much beyond the moot court competition and into other avenues as well. Lastly, I would also like to thank Mr. Anand Vikas Mishra ji, who is the Joint Director Law at CCI, who was instrumental in facilitating this moot court and allowing us to host it at Nalsar this year. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your constant guidance and support. I would now like to invite Professor Faizan Mustafa, sir, our Vice Chancellor, to address the gathering. Professor Faizan Mustafa, sir, started his teaching career at Aligarh Muslim University in the early 1990s and later became its Dean Faculty of Law. He was also the founder director of KIIT Law School and founder Vice Chancellor for NLU Odisha. He became the third Vice Chancellor of Nalsar in 2012, and soon he started revamping the curriculum in consultation with the student body. He has been the president of the Shastri Indo-Canadian Institute also. Professor Faizan Mustafa, sir, has always been constantly encouraging the student body to organize events such as these, and we are forever grateful for his constant support and encouragement. Please go ahead, sir.
Sir, you're on mute, I think.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you are.
Okay. So I'm really sorry. I joined you a few minutes late. I just reached home. I was in Calicut. So it's a matter of great satisfaction for me that this very important moot court, the first of its kind, where Khaitan as well as Competition Commission of India have partnered with us, has reached the valedictory level, and we are going to conclude this moot court competition. There are teams which have done exceedingly well. There will be some winners, but those who are not going to win, they have also in a way made a point. They have learned the art of advocacy. So unlike in other events, in mooting, since the purpose is that you develop art of advocacy, whether you win or whether you lose, in both cases, I think that you are a gainer. I'm sure that this association of Khaitan and Competition Commission of India would be a lasting one, and we would be able to have a physical event next year on a much larger scale. And this will also probably help us in attracting people, researchers, as well as student researchers to the newly established Center of the Competition Law at Nalsar. I can see Sudhanshu, who heads the center, who has done a PhD on competition law. So Nalsar is all set to do more in respect of popularizing competition law, in creating an ambience for researchers in the area of competition law, and in emerging as a center of excellence in this upcoming area of our laws. I wish all the very best to all the participants, and I'm really grateful to all the guests who have found time for us to join in the valedictory. And my thanks are also due to all the judges who took so much of time in sitting on various benches. And of course, I will be failing in my duty if I don't thank my own Nalsarites, the student team, which has spent really the midnight soil, have been working very hard to make this event successful. So all the very best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for addressing the gathering. We must say that this event could not have been possible without your constant support and guidance. And we thank you for the same.
And we thank you.
There is an internet lag. Just give us a second, sir. He'll come.
I would now like to request Mr. Prashanto Chandra to address the gathering. Sir works with the Supreme Court of India, several High Courts of India, with the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal, with the National Company Law Tribunal, and the Appellate Tribunal for Electricity, the Competition Commission of India, and the National Green Tribunal. His core area of practice includes civil and commercial litigation. He's also one of the founder editors of the quarterly bar review of the Delhi High Court Bar Association, and has also worked on several cases related to land acquisition, mining, electricity, environmental law, municipal law, labor law, service law, and commercial and contractual law. Please go ahead, sir.
Sir, you're mute, I think.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you very much. And it's indeed a great privilege and pleasure to be part of this first Nalsar-CCI combined moot court competition, which has been organized. And it kind of gives a window to the future as to what is going to happen, which is that increasingly specialization in each area, various areas of law, is going to be the norm. I remember when I was a junior with Dr. Singhvi many years ago. And there was a young lawyer who came from England, and he said that what is the nature of practice going to be in India? And is it going to be more specialized or not? So he said, at least during my lifetime, it's not going to get very specialized. Maybe 15, 20 years after mine, it may get more specialized. I now notice that the kind of level of preparation, level of expertise in the law, familiarity with the case law and advocacy, which we all saw today and which we were discussing in the breakout room with my fellow judges, was outstanding. And this was not just for the winning team, it is also for the team which has lost, which would be by a very small margin. It was very difficult for us to come to that decision. So seeing that, I realized that this specialization which is going to take place is going to come in much faster. And everyone has to get their act together, because if we have this kind of preparation at the national law school level, I think when you enter the profession also, you're going to set a very high standard and a bar from which you'll take off further. So I think it's going to be a fascinating era for Indian legal fraternity and system to have bright young people like you making it over the years. And I think it's going to take jurisprudence of competition law at a very different level. Only one word of caution. Specialization is important, must be done, but do not forget the general principles of law, because ultimately, please keep in mind, any statute which is there has to be interpreted by general principles of law. There is common law. There is other forms of law. So yes, the advantages of specialization are 2 or 3. 1, your knowledge base in that area is fantastic. 2, your rise in that particular area is fantastic, because you're operating in a particular tribunal or a jurisdiction, it brings you up. And of course, you're at the cutting edge. You make, your clientele increases as a result. But then if the advantage of cross fertilization from other principles of law is that you'll bring to bear a freshness to competition law principles, and you'll be able to develop the law to different, in very, very far more creative ways if you've got a good grounding in other areas of law also, and in the fundamentals of law. So do keep that in mind whenever you go ahead. That's all. And as I remember from the time when I did the first moot court, which was many years ago, we saw some notice on the notice board, and it said there's a moot court somewhere, and we just rushed off ourselves. There was no selection, nothing like that in our time. And it was an vernaculum, I still remember. And we came back. From there to now, it's been such a transformation. And the kind of advocacy, etc., being put forward is fantastic. So it's really heartening to see all this, and I wish you all the very best. And again, I repeat, not a lip service that the team which did not win is any less than the team which win. It's not lip service, and believe me, I'll again reiterate that it was a very tough and a keenly contested debate. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom. It's an absolute pleasure to have you with us today. Now, I would like to request our honorable guest, Mr. Manas Kumar Chaudhary, partner at Khaitan & Co., to address the gathering and apprise us with his words. Manas Kumar Chaudhary, an antitrust litigator, advises Indian and overseas clients on competition law and policy and related legal or regulatory issues. He has worked as the first additional registrar of the Competition Commission of India and was also associated with the drafting of various statutory regulations under the Competition Act during his stay in the CCI. He also worked as a joint director, Monopolies and Restrictive Trade Practices Commission. We are immensely elated having you here today, and I request you, sir, to now address the gathering.
Thank you very much. I congratulate the Vice Chancellor and the team of professors. They have all lived up to the expectation of all of us, because Nalsar, as we all know, is one of the prime national law schools in India. And the entire moot court team, led by Professor Bharti and Sudhanshu, they actually lived up to the reputation of this prestigious institution. And I am very happy to be part of this event, which has been going on for the last 3 days. Especially, more importantly, my own juniors have been an ex-alumni of this prestigious law school. and they actually were helping the entire moot proceedings with the moot proposition. And I'm very happy to see that it was very well contested. As my brother just Prashanto just had said, that it was very difficult for us to really make as to who the winner is. Luckily, we have to do that. Had it been a situation where we can say that it's a drawn match and we can have a penalty shootout, that would be, I think, ideal for all of us to really go ahead with that. Since we can't do that, we have to make a winner today. But then, as Professor Vice Chancellor sir said, as well as Prashanto said, that it is actually winner for all. It is not actually winner of one versus another. Another thing which I would also like to echo the voice of Mr. Sen, that, you know, competition law is definitely a specialization which one would like to really grasp on, master that law. It's a mix of microeconomics and law. As such, always try to understand how the businesses are being done. Most of the businesses run on agreements, and only a delta among that agreement is something which the Competition Commission is interested in looking at it. It is not that they're penalizing in that delta. They only would like to investigate, inquire if an occasion so arises. You have to tell your clients in future, if you wish to practice this law, that be compliant with the law and do not let the CCI to unnecessarily get into scrutinizing your business. If you can do that, because since I have been associated with the initial years of transition between the MRTP Commission and the CCI, if I have read the Raghavan Committee correctly, the whole idea was not to really investigate every industry as the MRTP Commission used to do. Here, the objective is to make the markets competitive, make the industry understand this law, and raise a consumer surplus in the market so as to ensure economic efficiencies in the overall context of the economy of the country. This is a very hard task. Even a 125-year-old United States Antitrust Division is still trying to grasp the competition law, as the markets is so dynamic. The digital market is becoming a new kid in the block, which is causing a lot of ripples in the investigative technique with the CCI and, for that matter, all competition agencies. And we believe that the way the participants today researched, argued, I consider that the CCI would be having very interesting times in the future. Their competition advocacy, as Professor Sudhanshu mentioned, it's very well understood by the legal fraternity as well as by the law schools. And CCI has been doing a great service to the society, which unfortunately was not a mandate of the predecessor, that is MRTP Commission. And that is what, you know, we all are looking forward to. I wish the Moot Court Competition Committee all the very best. We would really happy to come back in physical mooting in the years to come. With all of that, best luck to the all teams and best luck to Nalsar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your enriching words. It was an immense pleasure to hear from you. Now I request Srimati Jyoti Jindgar Bhanot, Secretary, Advisor, and Head of Antitrust Division of the Competition Commission of India, to enlighten us with her words. Ma'am holds a bachelor's degree in economics as well as master's degree in business economics from Delhi University. She possesses vast regulatory and enforcement experience and has been part of various domestic and international committees and think tanks. She is presently heading one of the antitrust divisions at CCI. Before her current role at Competition Commission of India, she worked as Additional Director General for about 5 years in the Office of Director General, Competition Commission of India. As in charge of one of the investigation units, she conducted investigation into various alleged anti-competitive activities such as cartels, bid riggings, vertical restraints, and abuse of dominance, including those in the new technology markets. Earlier, she worked for around 15 years in SEBI, SEBI, the regulator for security markets in India, in various capacities in different areas. It is a matter of great pride for us to have you here with us today. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Am I audible? Because there was in between a blip in the connectivity.
Yes, ma'am, your voice is breaking a bit.
Am I audible? Am I audible? Because I think there is some issue with the connection. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Just a moment, please. Yeah. So I feel privileged to be here in this August gathering, although virtually, for the first Nalsar-CCI Antitrust Moot Court Competition 2022, organized in association with Khaitan and Company, which is a prominent law firm in the field of competition law. I'm glad that I'm part of this beginning of a new partnership between CCI and Nalsar, and confident that it will further blossom and grow by leaps and bounds, as has been said by the Vice Chancellor. Moot Court is always thrilling, and it provides a very useful platform for the budding professionals to hone their skills and learn from their competitors. And I congratulate NALSA for taking this initiative and providing this opportunity to the students by the means of this competition. I had the opportunity to judge the final round of this moot, which saw sharp arguments from both sides, articulation of facts, clear elucidation of law points, succinct exposition of tricky legal positions on a complex matter. Evidently, a lot of hard work had gone in preparation, and I congratulate the teams for the same. And as has been already mentioned by my other colleagues, it was really difficult to choose and decide the winner. And I completely agree with everyone's point of view that in events like this, everyone stands to gain because everyone gets an opportunity to learn. But having said that, I congratulate the teams first who got eliminated in the initial and subsequent rounds for their determination to take on the challenges, and it would urge them to take this in the spirit of rich experience for further growth. I also extend my greetings to the winners and runners-up who will be shortly announced for taking up this stage and for grabbing the covetous positions in this prestigious move. So, taking a cue from this competition and talking from the perspective of modern economies, it will be appropriate to say that it is on the fulcrum of competitive markets that growth and efficiency of an economy stand. Competition spurs productive efficiency, which in turn propels economic growth, besides incentivizing innovation that brings about dynamic efficiency and higher competitiveness. In fact, a review of cross-country literature suggests that there is a positive correlation between GDP growth and a level of degree of competition. And to nurture and sustain the spirit of healthy competition in markets and for regulation of the same, Parliament of India enacted the Competition Act 2002. As all of you would know, the Act provides a formal and a legal framework to prevent practices having adverse effects on competition, promote and sustain competition in markets, protect the interest of consumers, and ensure freedom of trade. And it conforms to the philosophy of modern competition law, prohibits anti-competitive agreements, abuse of dominant position, and regulates mergers and acquisitions that cause or are likely to cause an adverse effect on competition. So being a modern law, this is competition neutral, this is ownership neutral, and this is sector agnostic. In fact, CCI, being the market regulator, has its role cut across all sectors, and it covers both public and private enterprises. Another distinguishing feature from the erstwhile MRTP regime, in line with the new thinking, is that this does not frown upon the size of dominance of enterprise, but at the same time, it focuses on the conduct, and CCI is obligated to preserve the competitive process and to ensure the freedom of trade by prohibiting the exclusionary and exploitative practices of dominant undertakings. It has been around more than a decade of existence, as the substantive provisions of Competition Act 2002 relating to anti-competitive agreement and abuse of dominant position got notified in 2009. And since then, in its journey, CCI Commission has received issues and cases across wide spectrum of sectors, be it airlines, banking, capital market, e-commerce, digital market, infrastructure, you name a sector, and I think there would have been a case which was dealt by the commission. Now, in this role of the market regulator, enforcement and competition advocacy are the two pillars which are relied upon by the commission for achieving its objectives. And commission applies a judicious mix of these tools for prevention of anti-competitive behavior, at the same time intervening in cases of transgression. The instrument of enforcement has been applied judiciously within the overall framework of Act, keeping in mind the specificities of the sector involved, market structure, and nature of contraventions. This being an economic law, you would appreciate that every case brings along its own, specificities, and it is very difficult to kind of say that just because one decision was taken in a particular case, it would ipso facto apply to another case. So it's a very, very case by case, assessment which is undertaken, a very robust assessment taking into account the facts of the case, the legal aspects, and the market under question and the conduct under question, of course, within the overall framework of law. And also this being an economic law, due regard is given to the sound economic principles, which are also very well embedded in the very provisions of the Act. And in the last decade of its journey, in its decisions, it has always been the endeavor of the Commission to spell out the rationale and its approach in its decisions so that it serves as a guidance and provides adequate, background on why Commission approached in a matter in a particular way. And I think that was also evident from the discussions which took place in today's moot proposition, where there were a lot of case laws which were cited, and the background was also discussed, and both the sides were able to distinguish. While applying those principles, they were also able to distinguish it from the case in which was being mooted today. So, and of course, in this in process, due regard is given to principles of natural justice, and the guidance and directions provided by the high courts and the appellate tribunals have played a very critical role in developing sound and rich harvest of jurisprudence. For instance, the first celebrated judgment of Apex Court of CCI versus SAIL cleared various hurdles and paved the way for smooth functioning of Commission. And CCI also has been adopting the guidance in its processes and its decisions, and has been correcting the course wherever required. And I must mention that in the recent years, there has been a very steady increase in the cases reviewed by CCI emanating from the new age markets, which have ranged from across the verticals, such as search engines, online market platforms, app stores, payment gateways, online travel, food aggregators, cab aggregators. So it's really a very interesting time to be part of the antitrust regime. And globally, competition law is emerging as a very key instrument to address a lot of issues which are emanating out of the advent of the digital economies and the the coming up, the big tech companies which have come up, and they have brought attendant issues. So many issues like self-preferencing, leveraging, deep discounting. They have immediate nexus with competition law, and increasingly role of antitrust authorities in this arena is increasing. Of course, there are a lot of complexities in dealing with these cases. First of all, these are very dynamic markets and they evolve at a very fast pace. Even the regulators have to keep pace with the developments which are taking place. And while intervening, due regard has to be taken that our interventions don't chill innovation while addressing market distortions. And let me tell you, that is a very challenging job. But having said that, competition law is going to play going forward a very key role in addressing to the concerns which the world is seeing in these markets. And in a young jurisdiction like India, where legacy issues have not yet faded completely and stakeholders are not fully aware of the benefits of competition and market reforms, advocacy plays a very critical role, and Commission has recognized this early on, and this forms a very key area of the functioning of the CCI. And we have taken a number of steps to enhance the culture of competition compliance in business to help reduce incidents of infringements of statute. And many of these were, I believe, mentioned by our honorable chairperson in his inaugural address. So I would not repeat those. Being an expert body, CCI also lays a lot of emphasis on capacity building both in-house and among stakeholders. And before I conclude, I would like to apprise you of some of the initiatives of CCI which may be of interest to students and young professionals like you. Firstly, there is a very active internship program which CCI offers. In fact, with the advent of the pandemic, this internship program was made online. And it was like we took the advantage of the situation and we've benefited in the sense that now our reach out to students across the country has increased, and the students have benefited because they're not constrained by the financial constraints or the geographical constraints. And it has witnessed a huge interest in the area. Apart from that, we also take young professionals as researchers, and which could be on contract basis. And from time to time, there are legal officer vacancies which keep coming up, and I'm sure many of you who have interest in the area of competition law would like to consider them. In order to disseminate information about the nuances of the competition law, we have a lot of material which is available on our website and which is regularly updated. Both visual as well as literature is there, and I would urge you to have a look at it. Having said that, it has been very fascinating to be part of this event. I honestly, I have also learned a lot in the process, and I congratulate Nalsar and its team for organizing such an excellent event in such a professional manner in every aspect. And that speaks volumes about the organizational skills, and really sincerely hope that going forward, our association and partnership with Nalsar will enhance, and we will work together in various areas to take the cause of competition law forward. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure to listen and learn from you. Now I request Professor Saurabh Bharati, sir, to announce the team with the Best Moot Memorial Prosecution. The winners of the Best Memorial will be awarded with a trophy and a cash prize worth ₹10,000. Please go ahead, sir.
Shakti, have you sent me the information in the chat box? I don't see it.
Yes, sir. Please check your chat box. It must be there.
No. Okay, fine. So this is what category is this?
So Best Moot Memorial Prosecution.
Okay. So before I announce the winning team for Best Moot Memorial Prosecution, I think I cannot fail to convey my own gratitude to the Competition Commission of India for partnering with us. And particularly at a personal level, my thanks to Shri Anand Vikas Mishra ji, the Joint Director, because he was continuously on the job and he made sure that we did not lose focus while building up for this competition. So thank you from my side. Okay, so the team which has won the Best Moot Memorial for prosecution is National University of Advanced Legal Studies, Kochi. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Many congratulations to the winning team. Now I request Sudhanshu sir to announce the best moot memorial for the respondent side.
All right. The best memorial respondent goes to Symbiosis Law School, Hyderabad.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now I would request Kumar Chaudhary sir to announce the best researcher.
I think you're on mute, sir.
Sir, you're on mute. Maybe you could try unmuting yourself and speaking.
I'm audible now. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it is Kirtika Singh, Maharashtra National Law University, Aurangabad. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir, and congratulations to Kritika. Now I request Mr. Prashanto Chandra sir to announce the best speaker for the event. The winning speaker would be receiving a cash prize of rupees 10,000 in addition to a trophy.
Okay, so the best speaker is Mr. Sai Kishan Rathore, Gujarat National Law University.
Thank you, sir, and congrats to the winning speaker. And now I request Srimati Jyoti Jindgar Bhanot to announce the winning team. The winning team will be awarded with 3 internship slots with Khaitan and Co. and a cash prize of 50,000 and trophies. And the runners-up will be awarded with a cash prize of 30,000 and trophies. And ma'am, if you could please go ahead.
I'm pleased to inform that, announce that the winner team is, should I first announce the runner-up? Yes. So runner-up is Gujarat National Law University. And the winners are Institute of Law, Nirma University. And once again, as we mentioned, it was a very keen contest and a difficult choice to make. And congratulations to all of you. Well done.
Thank you, ma'am, and many congratulations to all the winners. Now, I would like to invite Tilak Dangi, the convener of our moot court committee, to give the vote of thanks and conclude the ceremony.
Thank you so much, Nupur. A very good evening, everyone. I, Tilak Dangi, convener of the Moot Court Committee, wholeheartedly welcome you to this valedictory ceremony of the first Nalsar-CCI Antitrust Moot Court competition in association with Khaitan and Co. Being convener of the Moot Court Committee, I am being given this task to give vote of thanks for the third time. But trust me, I proceed to give this vote of thanks with very heavy heart because of this being the competition, the last competition under my tenure, and this competition being very close to my heart. At the outset, I would like to thank Competition Commission of India to agree to partner with us and provide us with all the support, judges, sponsorship, and everything. I would personally like to thank Anand Vikas Mishra sir because of his guidance and continuous support. We were able to complete this competition in very smooth manner. Now, I would also like to thank Khaitan and Co for agreeing to partner with us as an associate partner. And for this, I would also like to thank Manas sir, Sagardeep sir, and Neelav for continuously supporting us with the judges, helping us with the mood proposition and everything else. We are very grateful for Khaitan and Co for their collaboration. Now, I would also like to thank judges who have judged the memorials, who have judged the preliminary rounds, quarter-final rounds, semi-final rounds, and final rounds for taking out their time from busy schedule to judge this moot court competition and helping us to make this competition a successful one. Now, I would like to thank Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir for providing continuous support, for being available for us on WhatsApp, on call at any point of time when we reach out to him. He definitely helps us in a very immediate manner. Sir, I would wholeheartedly thank you for your continuous support for during my tenure of these 2 years. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would also like to thank Registrar sir, who is not here, but who has also helped us in all the possible manner. I would also like to thank Sudhanshu sir for advising us to have a moot court competition and competition law, and from that point of time, we started to think to have a moot court competition on competition law with CCI and then Khaitan and Co. Thank you so much, sir, for all the support. I would also like to thank Saurabh Bharti, sir, faculty coordinator, for being available to us in the night at every point of time, for helping us in all the difficult situations. We are very grateful to you, sir, for being for all the help that you have done to us. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would also like to thank alumni of our college who have helped us in each and every point of time of this competition. And at the cost of repetition, I would like to thank Neelav Banerjee, who has helped the organizing committee since last 5 months and have been available to us for each and every moment whenever we texted him. Now, I would also like to thank volunteers of this moot court competition who were doing various service of bailiff or the or assisting the organizing committee during these 3 days, which was the holy weekend, and even after even considering that this was the holy event, they helped us in organizing this event. I am also grateful for the supportive staff of the Nalsar University of Law who have been tirelessly working with us for making this competition successful one. I might be missing some particular names, but I would like to thank each and every individual who have helped us in making this competition successful. Now, for this smooth, now for teams, for judges, and for guests and for our partners. If there is any mistake on our part, I sincerely apologize on behalf of the organizing committee for any inconvenience that has been caused to the judges. I assure you that my successors will do much better than me, and I sincerely thank each and everyone for taking out time from your busy schedule. With a heavy heart, I sincerely thank each and everyone for. I'm so sorry for helping us to make this competition a very successful one. Thank you so much.
We are proud of you, Tilak.
Thank you.
Good work, Tilak. Good work.
With this, I believe we can end.
I take the permission from the guests to conclude the ceremony.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you once again. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much.